Good morning! Today we've got another toy review. We're going to be looking at some more Marvel Legends. I figured we would do a little bit of a double feature. So we've got from the Mindless one Build-A-Figure, we've got the Midnight Suns version of Iron Man, as well as Blade from just the comics. It's just Blade. These two came out at the tail end of last year. And these are honestly the only figures from this wave I really want. So I figured I would do a little bit of a double feature, just talk about them both at the same time. So packaging wise, it is the pretty typical Marvel Legends box. One is white and says Game Reverse. One is not white and says Legends. Marvel has like a sub theme for toys and collectibles that just are from games. Smart on the side. And the backdrop is different for both of them. Blade has some comic art, and Iron Man has a render from the game. Blade, destined to hunt vampires and destroy the evil of the world. Blade is a vampire-human hybrid with the greatest strengths of each. Iron Man, after a deadly bomb blast, millionaire, playboy, genius Tony Stark perfects a high-tech suit of armor and decides to use his technology and privilege to reshape the world. That tells me nothing about the game. So let's get these two open and talk about them. All right, so first up we have got Iron Man in his Midnight Suns look. From what I understand, this is like a magically enhanced suit so he can fight like vampires or demons or something. I have no idea. Like I said, I just wanted this because it's very comparable to the Marvel Now armor. They did release a figure of it back in the day, I think from 2015. It was with the Age of Ultron stuff, and it was a reuse of the figure from Iron Man 2, a movie from 2010. So this suit has not gotten a lot of love. There was a Sentinel did like their weird Armorize or whatever they call it figures. They did a Comic-Con version that was Iron Man in those colors, but I had that figure and was not a fan. Not fun to pose. Very heavy, paint scratched easily. Not fun. So I'm not sure where most of this body comes from. If I had to wage a gander, I'd probably say the Avengers game, the Square Enix one from a while back. That's just kind of a safe guess for me. I do know that the torso is at least a new piece because it's got some molded bits here with some like runes. But no, it's very glossy for just this. It's super shiny. The black itself is just kind of a glossy black plastic, but all of the gold bits are appropriately painted gold. And overall, yeah, no, fairly clean. There are some smudges on the runes, and some of them aren't painted fully. The helmet looks really nice, though. I'm pretty impressed with this one. And then you can also see some similar markings on both of the titties. And then the gold kind of trails down throughout the rest of the armor. You've got some on the back. It's pretty plain. I do like how this is a pretty standard Iron Man. Like, if these runes weren't here and if these gold bits weren't here, I mean, this would just be the Marvel Now armor, which is really what I'm going for. I do like the extra bits of gold right here and here to help break things up. Even on the shoulder, that's nice. Going down the legs, you can see some of the, like, detailing circuitry, the legs or the knees and these bits I do not know human anatomy are both painted. Unfortunately, the inside of the legs are not painted gold, even though those parts are gold. And then we've just got some pretty plain feet. I will say he struggles to stand. Well, now it's fine. I like posed him for about 2 minutes before getting him to actually stand up. But no, I really like the look of this figure. It's really what I was wanting from a golden black Iron Man. Now, articulation-wise, it is pretty standard for a Legends figure. We've got a ball joint at the head, and I do believe this is on a hinge. Yeah, you can see that. Now, articulation-wise, we're going to be looking at a ball joint at the head, and then that is on a hinge, pretty standard, which leads me to believe parts of this figure are reused, because I know a lot of Legends now have a dumbbell system where it's a ball joint and a ball joint. Torso, it's not on any kind of movement, but it does have a hinge. And then just the standard hinge and swivel. Pulling out is not as good as it is swiveling without pushing on the figure. I think this is about as far as we're gonna go, which is bad, but double jointed elbows are fine. The hands look like they've got, yeah, just your regular hinge. They're very tight. I'm gonna have to loosen these up. Swivel at the waist, then a swivel at the thigh cut, double bend at the knee, and then typical tilt, though it's kind of tight. This figure is very tight. Now, in terms of accessories, Mr. Stark only has pretty typical arrays for an Iron Man figure. We're going to be looking at 2 repulsor hands and 2 effects. Nothing amazing, nothing special, just kind of the usual for these figures. And it is not focusing. There we go. Yeah, no, nothing crazy. I do appreciate the holes in the hands so you can actually pop the effects in. But this is pretty much what every Iron Man has. No other effects. Maybe a flight effect would be neat, or Tony Stark head. Pretty light. It also does come with the Build-A-Figure part for the Mindless one. Had to look at that again, but this is just basically a hunk of rock for me. Yeah, I don't need this one. All right, and then after that, we have got Blade. This is my first Marvel Legends of Blade, and I'm really excited to have one on the shelf, especially in anticipation for the Arcane. Is that the people making the new game? Really hoping it's not an Xbox exclusive. But no, this is pretty cool. This is a very standard, I don't know about modern, but you know, when I think about Blade, I typically think Wesley Snipes, and I know that was kind of that mid-2000s look, so this is good. This is also what Blade looks like in Fortnite, which, you know, really has all that matters to me. But yeah, no, very nice figure. I would say he is all black, but that is probably not something I should be saying. But he's very cool looking. So he's got this really big coat. It is a solid plastic sheet, which does kind of get in the way and does traffic cone a little bit. It's really nice that there is some red detailing in there. Break up the color a little bit. It's very nice. That goes up. He's got a big propped collar. He's got some body armor on. He's got this belt, very militaristic underneath, which, you know, that's kind of just Blade style. He's got the swagger, and then he's got the tactics. I know the legs are a new piece because they are pinless. Don't know about the torso, and then I know the arms are not because they kind of look weird. Like anatomy speaking wise, the legs do kind of have a slimness to them, or at least they fit kind of that humanoid, like mature form. But there's something about these arms that are very chunky and short. I know the rolled sleeved look is to, you know, the thickness is to make it look like the sleeves are rolled up, but I don't know. He's kind of got tiny arms. If I have something in the collection that I could replace his arms with, I might. And then the head's really nice. It's really nice. I'm not super huge on it being a snarling expression. It is nice, I will say, but I do kind of wish it was an alternate face, and maybe they had a more neutral or like teeth-bearing face. Just something a little more standard packaged in as well. But this is very nice, very expressive. The teeth are painted really nicely, and you can see the inside of his mouth. You can even see like the other rows of teeth. Very nice. The shades are appropriately shiny, and there's a nice texture difference between the skin and the shades. And then he's got his flat top, he's got his fades. He is rocking that style. And then obviously you have a sword scabbard on the back, which is part of the figure. So don't try ripping that off. And then articulation-wise, Mr. Blade. I don't know if Blade actually has a first name. I'm sure he does. It's looking like a pretty standard ball joint at the head with a hinge. Then you've got that hinge at the torso. The big coat kind of gets in the way of all that. His arms, pretty standard swivel and hinge. Can go out, but not a lot. This coat really gets in the way of it. But swivel. Double jointed elbows, unfortunately not going to go a lot. There's a lot of prohibited stuff on this figure between the arms, just this big cone, you know, typical kick, swivel, and then double jointed, another swivel for the boot, and hinge, swivel. Nice. Honestly, it's just the upper torso articulation. And when I say upper torso, I mean the arms, and then the coat kind of getting in the way. And obviously the proportions of the coat I'm not huge on, but no, he can do what you need him to do. He can kick, he can throw, he can punch. He can get, I don't know, he can get vampires. All right, so accessory-wise, Blade has a couple of things. First off, he's got a pair of open hands. These are weapon-holding hands. We'll get to that in a second. And then, of course, he's got to have some weapons. He's got a pair of, I'm going to be real, don't know what you would call these, double-bladed knife, cooking utensils, I don't know, shurikens, throwing stars. He's got his blade, his katana. Pretty standard. And then obviously, you know, he's got to raise those stakes. So he's got some wooden stakes. Very cool. Very plain. No detailing because it is just a chunk of wood. And then no worries about getting them in his hands. He can hold them all fairly well. My only complaint is I wish there was some more weapon storage. Like maybe he had some like holders for the stakes on his like belt, or you know, maybe on his thighs. I don't know where he would put these thingies, maybe on the back with the sword. But honestly, I will probably have most of these in a baggie, give him the 2 stakes and give him the sword. Call it a day from there. But yeah, no, very happy with this blade. And then it's important to mention he also comes with another piece of the Mindless One Build-A-Figure. I have no idea what the heck this is supposed to be. He's got an eye. He's got more rock. He does have this really cool blast effect. It's kind of like a Cyclops thing, where he's blasting some energy. It's neat that some Build-A-Figures actually get like alternate parts or accessories, but not a Build-A-Figure I care about. All right, and overall that was the Marvel Legends Mindless One. I had to look over at the box like 3 times. Mindless One Wave. We've got Iron Man for Marvel Suns and Midnight Suns and Blade. Overall, very happy with both of these figures. It is just another Iron Man. Though I have like so many of them, I can't really complain. It is, you know, pretty close to the Marvel Now armor that I really want a figure of, so I will take this as the surrogate. He's not going on the favorite shelf, but I might take him to work. Blade, on the other hand, yeah, this is the GOAT. This is like a really nice blade. He's got some really cool accessories. The detailing's great. The face is awesome. Like I said, kind of wish he had a more neutral face to go along with the screaming face, but that snarling anger, that is really nice. He can hold it all fine. Not huge on the arms. They feel kind of stout and short. But other than that, like, that's a really nice blade. Maybe a cloth cloak would help things out, but obviously Hasbro doesn't do that. So for a $23, $24 blade, God, this is the one to go for. And then Iron Man is going to be Iron Man. It's a tentpole character. You got to have one of those in every wave. I think this one will do. Like I said, I haven't played the game yet, so not sure the story importance of this armor, but it is close enough, and I will probably put that in the thumbnail. It's just going to be close enough. Big impact font, and then the figure next to the Marvel Now armor, and then blade somewhere in the screen. But yeah, no, thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure how often these videos are going to come out or what the cadence is going to be or anything, but I really appreciate you sticking around, and if you need anything from me, let me know. Hope you liked the video. Usual YouTube algorithm stuff, I'm not really caring about that, and so it's probably not going to be in the outro. I just hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon, maybe. Bye!